guys, welcome. This is the beginning of something that we're going to be doing here quite regularly on our page, just filming videos throughout the week to help you guys to go deeper into some of the topics that we're tackling on Wednesday nights. And so today I've got a special guest. This guy needs no introduction. You probably know him. Pastor Caleb Bagby, which was the youth pastor here at NCC before I had the privilege of stepping in. And so as you can see, he's wearing his NYC shirt, guys.
Let's go. Represent.
It was not on purpose, right?
No, it wasn't.
What you picked this morning. And so he loves us. He still has us on his heart and his mind. And so it's so good to have you here today, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I think this is going to be a really cool series. We're like talking about the Bible, reading it, studying it. And like, as we've been talking about this, realizing so many people have like so many reservations when it comes to reading the Bible. And those are things like, I'm afraid to even open it. Like, first of all, it might read my mail, like it might convict me of some things, but it could be confusing. Like, there's so much happening, there's so much deep meaning. So like, how do I even get started?
That's a good point. And I think that when people see how thick the Bible is, it's overwhelming. Because it's
like this is longer than a Harry Potter book.
That's a good point. You open it up and it's like, how do I know I'm reading the right thing? Like, what if I open up on the part where it's talking about like something crazy? And then you're like, what does that even mean, right? So what are some other things that you hear people say when it comes to starting to read the Bible and engaging with Scripture?
Well, I think it's like it's hard to know where to start, like you're saying. So like, if I do want to read the Bible, if I believe it's going to be helpful for me, I don't even know where to begin. Like, do I start at Genesis 1, the very first page, like a normal book? Do I start with like a random book at like John or in Ecclesiastes? Like, I don't know the difference. And so like, knowing where to even begin is just really intimidating for a lot of people.
No, it is. Another thing that I hear a lot of people say is, I just don't have the time to read the Bible. Again, we have this wrong thinking that because the book is so big that we think, man, I have to spend hours and hours and hours of just reading it. And one thing that I remember Rick Warren saying, a pastor of Saddleback, he said, it's not how much Bible you get through, it's how much Bible gets through you.
That's good.
So at the end of the day, it's not how much I read, it's how much of that is really, going in and doing a work in my heart that I'm actually meditating on and allowing it to change me. So
like if I have this chapter of a book, like of the Bible. So the Bible's made up of a lot of different books. So as I say that, if I'm reading a chapter in the Bible, then if I read that whole chapter in a day, like that's great, but did it change me at all? Like, am I taking that with me? Where if I would have just read one verse and that verse spoke to me and challenged me and like affected how I'm behaving and how I'm living, like that's way more effective and way more helpful for me for that verse to change how I'm living. And so, like you're saying, it doesn't maybe matter if you get through the whole thing in a year or in like less time or whatever, but that I'm taking the scriptures and it's affecting how I'm living. Where that could be a lot of difficulty for a lot of people is, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to take a part of the Bible and let it change me or know what it's saying enough to change what I'm doing or how I'm living.
Man, those are some really good tips that we can take with us today to just get the conversation started and be able to deal with some of those misconceptions that we have sometimes as to why we're not reading the Bible.
And probably a lot of you guys are relating to some of those feelings. You're like, yeah, I felt that way before, or even right now. My Bible's on my shelf, or like I don't have the app on my phone because I don't want to get started. It's scary. And so we're going to give you guys some really practical ways of getting started, of studying the scripture and knowing like, what does it say for me and for our world and us as believers to engage with culture.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for joining in on this first video, and stay tuned for more videos to come.